I'm very proud that this year I have asked Stratus Corporation, why don't you come to the Strata Amigos this year? Because they always send me one person and say, no, we are going to be four persons in the there from the corporation. I say four persons, no, but who persons are? You know, I am here with the vice president of sales for all Americas, Rod Kittrell. Thank you, Rod, for coming. How you feel about the Strata Amigos? Yeah. So we have to export this experience to the world, right? uh, I have to many people of the audience. Of course, most of the Strata Amigos here are Stratus users, so they always ask me, "How's the Stratus going? How's the corporation? How things are going?" Jim, can you please? Jim is the worldwide sales operation vice president, so I am here with people from the first level of the corporation, and I am very proud of that. And Jim, could you please tell us how's the company going and where are we going company-wise?
I'd be glad to, JP. Buenos noches, Strata Amigos. I'm very happy to be here. It's been 10 years since I've been in Mexico City, and I've been very involved in the business in Mexico. In my role as a worldwide sales operations, vice president, I'm involved in the business and looking over the business everywhere. And I'm happy to say that Stratus's business is very strong and very well and growing. We're growing predominantly in emerging markets. We're growing in the markets of Africa. We're growing in the Middle East. We're growing in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, and we're also growing in the Asian markets. So we're really doing a good job promoting the product outside of the major geographic territories that are more mature. But we're doing a good job in terms of growing the business all over. Our new products that we're going to come out with, or that we have out, and others on my team will be talking about, what we need to really take us to the next level, getting back into areas of brokerage and other areas that we were very, very strong in. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm very excited about the growth prospects of Stratus Technologies on a worldwide basis.
Thank you. Well, let's, of course, we want to listen exciting news, and the perfect fit for giving us exciting news are the engineers, the ones that really works in having solutions that really fits for the customers. So I am proud that John Fryer and he's a product manager for the FT server, and Ken Espiao, which is our system engineer in that we normally rely on Ken for technical issues. So how can we connect this to that, or how can we put an FT server in front of this application or whatever. So I am happy they are here and they have good news, right, John? Tell us about.
Yes, we do indeed. So, good evening, everybody, or buenas noches. It's a long time since I've been in Mexico City, but it's nice to come back. So one thing I know is that we are the last thing between you and a very good party this evening. So, but I hope that this will be interesting and will be a good warm-up for our party that is coming along. Before we talk about the new products that we have just brought to the market, and I think you'll see these are very, very interesting and exciting products that we have. Just want to talk a little bit about, what Jim said. What kinds of markets are we selling into? Where does Stratus technology fit in? And it was very interesting to hear what Mr. Krupensky said, particularly about the Internet of Things. We see big opportunities around that as the number of devices and sensors grows. And besides the financial services market, where we've always been strong, and where we have a lot of excellent customers in Mexico, another big area for us is industrial automation. So we see this in utilities, pipelines, manufacturing plants. But that's not our fault. But industrial automation, we see a lot of the Internet of Things coming into play. Other key markets where you see us, when there's an emergency, you need the services. That's another critical area. Healthcare. Not necessarily, but as you look at the healthcare records go online, and those healthcare records have to be protected and can only be in one place, then you see a lot of thin clients being employed in hospitals, doctors' offices, and the server that's running those thin clients with virtual desktop applications, the virtual desktop infrastructure cannot fail. Big opportunity that we see in Stratus in those markets, a growing opportunity for us. And again, other markets, transportation, toll collection, monitoring, homes, bridges, tunnels, other food markets. So what does all this mean for our customers? What do we do for them? Well, it turns out we do a lot. Let's just take the financial markets where many of you know we take one of our largest customers. Process 8 billion transactions. The answer is we have two new products. The first one is the next generation. This really uses the latest technology. A lot of enhancements inside the product. 1 terabyte of data. Well, processing is higher end. It's there. We have 16 gigabyte capacity in terms of fiber channel connectivity. Big step forward. In actual fact, 75 to 80% performance improvement over the current previous generation that we have. The 6410, the 2710, and the 4710. But that's not all. The other great product that we have coming out, we've started to deploy with customers, is our next generation of storage, the FT Scalable Generation 3. This now, as you'll see in a moment when we talk about it, gives you a state-of-the-art, mid-range storage technology that has a whole range of features that everybody needs to easily manage, protect, and expand with high performance and extremely cost effectively storage capacity that everybody needs today. So with FT Server, as we always have, we have 3 models that we've got. The high-end one, which is one we deploy primarily in the financial services market, the 6800. Again, this uses dual 12-core processors, Haswell processors. Again, operates up to 1 terabyte of data. And again, provides tremendous throughput now for transaction processing applications. A lot of our big financial customers that we've started to talk to, really excited about this product. The mid-range product, we see that deployed in a lot of branch office, or the term that we start to see is remote office, branch office, or robo-type applications, often where there is a lot less IT expertise out there, so they need systems to run reliably. And we see a lot of our low-end systems, the 2800 series, being deployed for many industrial automation applications, often in plants where they're either very little or no IT expertise at all, or where there's nobody there, whatever, in order to manage the systems. And that's where the always-on capability of Stratus really comes into play. So, I know a lot of you have Linux platforms. That's the predominant platform in the financial transaction industry. And we skipped a generation. The last generation of product that we had. But we're back now. The new generation product that we have, the new generation 8, supports Linux, supports Red Hat Linux. We plan to continue with this going forward. And as you can see from this graph, the performance increase is huge. Over 100% over the current generation of products that many of you have today. So if you see your processing capacities getting squeezed, you're wondering whether Stratus is the right technology to move forward with, the answer is right here. It's yes. We now have the product that will meet your processing needs, that can process those millions of transactions that you have in a year. And we're ready to work with you as we move forward through our partners here at Stratus Mexico. So this is really good news. It's got a lot of people really excited. We're really excited about this as well. But that's not all. We've gone out there and we've looked at what kinds of transactions, what kinds of things are happening in the financial markets. Where are people looking to use Stratus technology? All right. And one of the feedbacks that we've got is there's a lot of opportunity in brokerage. There's a lot of opportunity for anything that we can do to accelerate the speed with which we can process transactions, anything we can do to minimize the latency, the time it takes to do that. So we've invested in two areas. Internally inside FT Server, we have done optimizations on the way that the two halves of the server talk to each other so that we can reduce the latency as you're doing processing transactions. And we've invested in a new 10 gigabit Ethernet card that has protocol bypass capabilities so that the protocol processing is done on the card and doesn't take up capacity on the main motherboard that you get inside the FT server. The result of this is that you get high throughput for things like high frequency trading applications, for example, speeding up transaction processing from ATM machines, and all sorts of applications like that. Again, this has got a lot of people very, very excited in the industry about how Stratus is coming back into the brokerage industry and doing more in financial and transaction processing. So those are really the big new things that are coming out from the FT server side. But as I said at the beginning, that's not all. We have a whole new range of storage technology that's come out. So what are the kinds of challenges that we see our customers having? And hopefully, these are the kinds of challenges that you see as well. Security. Certainly security for data at rest. Physical security of disks, people walking out. Insider threats are one of the biggest things that you see. Performance. Everybody wants better performance. Everybody wants more cost-effective performance in terms of what they've got. Recovery. Disks do fail. We have to accept that. How quickly can you recover from that failure and get back to full operation? That's the important thing when it comes to that aspect of what's going on. Availability. Well, this is what Stratus does. And the new FT Scalable Gen 3 product seamlessly integrates with the Generation 8 FT server to give you the always-on continuous availability capabilities that everybody expects. And of course, how do you get the storage to scale? How do you control the cost as you scale out to get the performance that you need? And FT Scalable Gen 3 is really the answer to that in the always-on environment. So what is FT Scalable Gen 3? It's really what we call a hybrid storage array. It has a virtualization component, so it removes you from the need for having to understand everything about your storage requirements before you do an implementation. It has the capability to blend solid-state disk technology with hard disk drive technology in a seamless way and expand as your storage requirements grow. It's easily managed. It's got virtual pooling in terms of capabilities that you've got, so a very, very nice range of capabilities with the product. So why is it so attractive? And what does a hybrid storage array really mean? One of the key capabilities that really a lot of our customers really latch onto, really get excited about, is a real-time tiering capability that we have. So the challenge with performance is I can get that with solid-state drives, but they're very, very expensive. But if I want to control my costs, I need hard drives, and they're very cheap. Tiering gives you the ability to basically deploy a small number of solid-state drives and then use a larger number of hard drives. And the tiering capability that we have inside FT Scalable Gen 3 automatically migrates the data that you are accessing most frequently to the solid-state drives every 5 seconds. So let's take an example of what that could mean to somebody. Maybe not financial transaction, but we have customers who do a lot of video processing, large video files that they need to work on and manipulate. But they only really work on one file at a time. When they're doing that, it's very processor intensive, it's very I/O intensive to the storage capability. Real-time tiering is a function that can really help an application like that, because those images that are being processed will move from the hard drives to the solid-state drives, they get worked on, and then they migrate back again to the hard drives. So tiering enables you to control costs, but expand that capacity as you go along. Additionally, as your storage needs grow, we have this concept of thin provisioning. You can provision as much storage as you need, but you only need to install the storage that you're using right now. The system will tell you when you're running out, and you can add more hard drives or more solid-state drives as your requirements grow. So this is really just a summary of the feature set that's there. But the items that are in red and underlined are really the key capabilities that we have. Encryption on the drives to provide you the physical security that you need. Talked a little bit about the rebuild. So when something does fail, because of the tiering and the virtualization that we have, the system tracks what data has actually changed. What this means is that when there's a failure, you only have to rebuild the data that's changed, and everything that's remained at rest doesn't need to be copied. Much, much faster recovery enables you to get back into full operation very, very quickly. Tiered storage I've talked about. Other applications, if you have a heavy read environment, you can use a number of SSDs to cache the data that's read very frequently, while the main storage remains on the hard drives. And again, the capacity and the provisioning enable you to manage all this and provision it very, very easily. But let's not forget, capacity is important. We have up to 172 terabytes of capacity with FT Scalable Generation 3. So this is a scalable array that will meet the requirements of a lot of organizations that are there. So, how does this compare with what you may have today, the current generation of 2? It's a massive increase in performance. Twice the density in terms of spindles, easy mixing and full encryption with hard drives and SSDs, high throughput capabilities with an input-output operations per second, 16 gigabits of fiber channel connectivity, again to give you that high throughput capability, and a whole range of software functionality that's designed to ease the management and enable easy expansion of your storage capability. Really, between FT Server and FT Scalable Gen 3, you've got an incredible amount of processing capability, an incredible amount of storage capability. Now, I know time is tight, so I'm really going to skip over this slide, but really this talks to some of the challenges that people have and the functions and features that we have with FT Scalable and FT Server that can solve the kinds of problems that we see people running into today. Performance, security, disaster recovery, with snapshot backups, very, very fast, that doesn't impact the performance of your array on a regular basis. So a lot of really, really good features that we've got inside the product. I think with that, I'm going to hand over to Ken, who's going to tell you about some of the really interesting things that we're doing by combining FT Server and FT Scalable in ways that can really make it easy for you to adopt and adapt the technology that give you incredible processing power. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Ken.
Thank you, John. Go ahead, Ken. This is exciting news about the product. We have the performance that the customers are requiring. We have the capacity and disk, but we also have a new product announcement, right, Ken? Go ahead, please. We have a microphone.
Test. Yeah, that is correct, and I'm very excited to announce our new product, which is FT Rack, and this is the combination of the FT Server and FT Scalable, all in an integrated solution for your data center there. And so what you're going to see FT Rack deliver is end-to-end fault tolerance and a pre-assembled, easy-to-deploy rack architecture that's easy to expand, it's remotely monitored, and comes with Stratus's world-class and award-winning service and support. So the building blocks of the FT Rack platform are resilient, rapid, and seamless. Resilient, of course, is what you would expect from Stratus, that we deliver true fault-tolerant, continuous availability in our platforms. With FT Rack, for the first time, we're really delivering rapid deployment, that now you can deliver an entire architecture into your data center in one easy-to-implement piece of equipment instead of multiple complex, difficult to integrate pieces. Stratus takes all the effort out of it and makes it very easy for you to deploy this piece of equipment. And seamless, because Stratus handles all the support and all the difficulties that you have in integrating a continuous availability solution into your environment. Stratus does all the heavy lifting with FT Rack. So this is it here. This is basically an entire rack pre-configured with 5 of the FT Server, the new generation 8 FT Server platforms. Then our FT Scalable Generation 3. Then also included is the Brocade switch and Cisco switch to allow you to integrate the entire solution. So this entire rack comes pre-configured from Stratus and then is deployed into your environment there. Using applications such as, or operating systems such as VMware, you're able to really maximize this performance, and using FT Rack in a combined effort, here we go, there where we've got our storage and compute nodes, and then just pure compute node FT Rack configurations, you're really able to achieve supercomputer power, because with VMware, you're able to leverage the dynamic resource management capabilities, and you're able to use this much power, but in a continuous availability mainframe type availability platform. This has never been available in an industry standard technology until FT-Rack. And so we're very, very excited to announce this today.
Good. Thank you. This is so truly exciting news. How about that? You like it or not? How many? Hector, come on, put your order. POs, please. And I think out of the joke, I think this is really exciting. It's very good news. Stratus is really focused on the latest and almost new technology from Intel, using the FT Scalable as our entry into the high-end storage. We have this FT Rack, like adding capacity in a mainframe kind of infrastructure, with respecting what is the most important value for Stratus, which is the fault tolerant. Fault tolerant is more than high availability. Fault tolerant is the real solution for transaction processing, for healthcare, for manufacturing, to be online all the time. So thank you guys, thank you John, thank you Ken, thank you boss. How you see? If you feel okay, please tell us. If not, okay. And Jim, thank you very much all. So let me switch back to Spanish, so just to give some instructions.
Bueno, primero, por supuesto, tenemos también una pantalla para premiar a la gente que nos acompañó con Stratus. We have a LED screen TV to give away for people to have been listening to you. So please, any of you wants to ask a question to get a lucky customer to have a free flat screen TV?
Say a question of your technical, the most technical slide that you use.
So here's the question then. See if you were listening. What is the maximum, what's the capacity of the new FT Scalable Generation 3 product?
The maximum?
Maximum capacity.
There's one answer there, very fast.
De 172 teras.
172 terabytes.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Very good.
Oh, eres el dueño de una nueva pantalla de 40 pulgadas de LED. Y por supuesto tenemos reconocimientos para nuestros visitantes. Thank you very much for coming. We have a little thank you present, and of course we hope to see you upstairs in the party. Okay, para todos. Estamos listos para subir a la fiesta. Los esperamos a todos. Por supuesto, promete ser la mejor fiesta de Stratamigos. No lo olviden, afuera tenemos a la gente de BIM, a la gente de Epicor, a la gente de Tableau. Van a estar todavía un ratito haciendo sus demostraciones, la gente de Tequio también. Y tenemos el tema del evento, que es la prevención del cáncer de mama. Apúntense a la carrera, va a estar muy buena. Yo ya estoy inscrito. Juan Pablo González ya se comprometió a inscribirse. Todos los que vinieron a este evento los queremos inscritos, vale la pena. Y nos vemos arriba, vamos a pasarla bien.
Yeah.